All right, what's going on, everyone? This is James from DadLore343. Today we're going to be talking about my first ever nicer AR15, and that's going to be my BCM 16-inch upper with an M-LOK rail on a PSA lower. So let's get into it. So the story behind this is essentially I've pieced out this gun. I've gotten it in separate parts over the years. The main component that we're going to talk about in this video is this BCM upper. Um, Currently, or how I got this particular upper, is somebody listed it on Outdoor Trader, and I messaged them and said, "Hey, I've got something to trade, and I've got X amount of cash to give you, so I will go ahead and make you that offer." And I really didn't expect him to say yes, but he said yes and jumped on it immediately. We made the time to meet, met him in the parking lot of a Bass Pro Shop. Um, and then yeah, pretty much he said, I think he said that he had shot like 500 or 600 rounds through this upper, which is not a whole lot because this is a BCM 16-inch barrel forged hammer upper. So the chrome line cold hammer forged barrel upper, of course. It's the enhanced lightweight profile barrel, 16-inch barrel with the I guess 15-inch M-LOK handguard. Originally, I was looking at getting these off of the BCM website, but originally I was looking at the 13-inch handguard because I like the way that it looked a little bit better. But I am kind of glad that I ended up getting a 15-inch handguard. I like the extra real estate up here. It's nice for lasers and things like that. But yeah, basically this upper, I've had it on a motley crew of lowers. The first lower that I married it to was my Aero Precision lower. So I had kind of the meme build, the BCM upper with the Aero Precision lower. But I mean, it worked great for me. There's a reason why that's like a meme build that people seem to really enjoy it. Um, but yeah, so pretty much this upper, I don't think I've ever had a single failure with it. I've shot maybe 2,000 rounds through it, a lot. This was my primary go-to rifle. It's probably more than 2,000 rounds. I'd have to look, but I shot this gun for years. It's like my primary rifle, my do-all, my one rifle that I had for night vision, for daytime shooting, for everything. This is pretty much how it was set up. Minus I don't have a laser box and a light on it, obviously, but you can still see I've got my little rail there for attaching the light. Um, but yeah, so this was my do-all setup, and I pretty much had it set up exactly like this. However, this is my Otter Creek Labs Polonium 30 cal, and originally I had this with my Polonium 5.56 can, but my 5.56 can is on my night vision gun. If you guys watch my night vision equipment shooting video, I go over that. But I've got the Otter Creek Labs. I love their 5.56 can. When they were coming out with a 30 cal version, I said I have to get it, and it was the same price. No brainer right there. And being that we're already up here at the can, we're going to go ahead and go tip the butt. So we've got the can, like we said, 30 cal Otter Creek Labs Polonium, fantastic little can. It's just a great do-all can. We've got our 15-inch M-LOK rail right here. We've got our little rail sections. I've got a little rail section here for a bipod. That was actually on my Ruger American video. I had the bipod on this weapon just to make it easier for like long distance shooting and things like that. But I took it off, put on the Ruger American, obviously, and you guys saw it fall off in that video if you watched that. But anyway, so then we've got some slate black industries, little rail segments here. Actually, this may be a BCM rail segment, but these on the side are definitely slate black industries. So shout out Henry at 9-Hole Reviews. Thank you for that. The enhanced lightweight barrel forged hammer profile barrel. Mid-length gas system right here. We got a BCM gunfighter little grip right here. Going back, we've got a cheap Palmetto State, or actually, sorry, this is a DPMS lower, but I bought it at the Palmetto State store. We got a BCM bolt carrier in here. This rail is fantastic. I've heard a lot of people that use different M-LOK rails say they really enjoy the BCM M-LOK rail. I don't have a ton of experience using different M-LOK rails, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy how thin it is. I can get my hand all the way around there like that. And then we've got a LVPO. This is a Primary Arms SLX 1:6 first focal plane with the ACSS Raptor reticle. I'll see if I can put a picture of that above. But it's a first focal plane. It's pretty good. We got a cheap Primary Arms red dot on top of there. But this is probably the nicest Primary Arms LVPO mount that you can get. It's the Primary Arms PLX mount. Actually, I ordered this mount off of an open box sale on Primary Arms. I got the original mount that I got on here. I had it pretty much on a setup similar to this, and I was shooting it actually on the long range in front of an older gentleman. And oops, sorry, Pinky, I got my dog back here. Just stepped on her paw, but I was shooting it on the long range. I was shooting on the long range, and basically the scope just falls off at one point. I go and I try to look at it. I'm trying to get it back on there, torque it on there, but it just, the bits were messed up. So that's obviously why that particular scope mount was on the open box sale. Somebody obviously bought it from Primary Arms. It was out of spec. They sent it back, got a refund or whatever they did, and then probably it sat on the Primary Arms shelf for like a year or so. And then after a while, they're like, "Oh, this is open box. We'll turn around and sell it again." And then they sold it again. I bought it like a dummy, and then I called Primary Arms, and they turned around and got this. They got this mount back out to me really fast, though. I didn't have to pay anything additionally. So shout out Primary Arms. Thank you. You guys are great. That's why I use your products. But yeah, going back, so that's the scope setup right there. This is pretty much the only aiming apparatus on this thing. If this whole monolith goes down, there's no backup iron sights, no laser, no offset red dot or anything like that. So unfortunately, everything is on this. But personally, I prefer the piggyback up top red dots because it makes it easier for shooting with night vision. If you want to shoot passive or actively, or whatever it is, active or passive, I can't remember. I always get those confused for night vision. But yeah, when you want to shoot through your red dot with the night vision, I think it's easier to shoot in a more heads up position than have to crane the rifle to the side and be shooting like that when it's already really weird and unfamiliar to shoot under nods. But yeah, so that's personally why I throw all my red dots up top. Going back, we got this lower, we got a Magpul grip, Magpul stock, just a DPMS aluminum lower. It's got a Geisley single stage SG3 trigger in there. This was my go-to trigger for a long time, but actually on this exact setup, well, this upper with the 5.56 can, this trigger was getting, it would not reset because I guess there was so much gas in the system. So I actually swapped this to a LaRue 2-stage trigger, and once I did that, it worked fantastically. So yeah, so this, if you're running a very gassy setup, the Geisley SG3 is not the best. I would not recommend it if you're running a particular gassy setup with a can. But if you have a well-tuned setup, the Geisley SG3 is fantastic. I mean, it's great. It's a competition single-stage trigger. You really can't beat it. But yeah, this was my go-to great hot dog eating contest SHTF rifle for a long time. But now it's been phased out. I'm about to do another video on the current rifle that I would have if we had some sort of red dawn scenario or something like that. But yes, this is basically, I actually got this rifle ready. It's in its current configuration because I was going to loan it to a buddy for the night vision running gun, but he ended up actually buying a Down Defense. Shout out to him. But I had the BCM hodgepodge ready for him if he needed to. I went ahead and zeroed it for him, and if he needed it, it was ready to go, and I brought it with me to the running gun in case my weapon went down or something like that. Of course, it didn't. It worked great. Well, actually, it didn't work great, but I think it was the magazine's fault. But we don't need to get into that now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about BCM below. If you like BCM, if you hate BCM, if you think that they're not as good as they were 5 years ago, that's what I'm hearing, is that they were not as good as they were 5 years ago. I don't know when this upper was made. I bought it in 2021, and I don't know how long the guy had it before me, but so I really don't know. But yes, it's a mod, or it's a Gen 1 upper. It's not the Mark II uppers that they have with the forward assist more far forward and a more like rigid lockup. I'm not really sure what all that means about their Mark II, but yeah, that's it. Let me know your questions or comments below, and as always, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody watching, and God bless.